Hi, welcome to our Blooming Support podcast. We are here today with Telia, the business manager of APM, Disability Employment, in the north side of the river.
Yep.
So you work at the Warwick office.
I do, yes.
So, and you know that for us, Blooming Support, helping people to find employment, people with disabilities to find employment is really, really important because it's sort of a missed piece there.
Yes.
And, you know, we have spoken to many people that feel like because they have a disability, they won't be employed by anyone. And that originates something even worse, which is having a disability, no employment, and as they say, feeling, you know, they're not good enough to get an employment because they have a disability.
Yep.
So can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and APM?
Of course. So yes, I've been in the Disability Employment Services for August will be my 5th year. So been here for what feels like, you know, a good time and a long time. Helping, you know, my first role was a job coach. So helping people on the ground, helping them, you know, I meet them and greet them, build rapport with them, you know, trying to show them that we're here to support them. Helping them into employment is probably, you know, the only one main drive that our service provider is there to help them. But another thing is to help them with their injury, their health condition and their disability. So making sure that we are aware of their barriers first and foremost and looking to help them find suitable employment for as long as we can and to kind of achieve them getting off the disability, the benefit that they're on, the job seeker payment, in order to get independent working with their own money and their own life. But from being a job coach to covering, you know, 2 sites over at my last job, it's really helped me become the business manager that I am today, because not doing the job on the ground wouldn't be able to prepare me for what's to come here with, you know, with staff and learning, you know, the processes and the systems and everything like that. So working alongside yourself and our Centrelink manager in Warwick has just made it all that easier, because, you know, you refer people to us, Centrelink refers people, and they become our clients and we all work together. So I wouldn't, back in the day, before I knew about a service provider, I actually didn't know something was about this for people to actually find employment with a disability. And I've, in my family life, only really had, you know, like mental health and stuff like that I've seen from family life. So knowing that was here all the time, I could have helped that family member before, even better, you know. But I think prior to being in a job provider, I was in the bank and I was then still helping people with their finances. So I always have had that hospitality banking background that's helped people. So to be here is even better because, you know, it's still helping them budget, it's still helping them get trust and build rapport outside with the community, because not everyone has that person at home that enables them to push them and strive for better and better for them. And my team at the Warwick side, we definitely have that indebted into us, is that they're never going to trust us if we don't, you know, support them and show them that we are here to be sympathetic, empathetic, caring. You're not just, you know, a person on job seeker payment. It's something about, you know, we truly find what's about that makes you you, and that employer needs to match with you. So finding this job, and it's just been, I love my job. To come here every day, so, and to do a podcast with you is, you know, just that next level.
Next level.
Yeah, so I'm very happy that you've invited me to do so.
Yeah,
hopefully.
I mean, it's very important, as you know, we have employed people with disabilities, and I've taken people that are interested in finding a job to you guys, and I know firsthand that you have a lovely team, and they accommodate everyone. So I have Francis had a meeting with one guy that I took there outside because it was too overwhelming to be inside, which you're not gonna get in a job interview.
Yeah.
But because as you said, you guys understand and are empathetic, and it's the main goal is to get them a job, not to be under stress.
Yeah. They're generally, some clients come to us without knowing how to interview. Some of them don't know what to wear. Some of them need support in, just being bought clothes. Some of them need just that help logging onto a computer. Some of them need just that quiet space, whether that's outside or into an office. So we always provide that office support where they need it in the quiet area. So people.
So one of the ladies that I was helping to find a job in the community, she had that issue, didn't know how to appropriately dress for an interview. And she was provided guidance, she was provided help, and someone in your team took her to Kmart and got her dressed with a voucher that you provide. So she was so proud of herself, I can tell, because it wasn't her normal clothes, and she wore, the clothes that you guys provided to every interview.
Yeah.
Because she felt confident.
Yeah, that shines through. If you don't somehow feel like you've got the interview in the bag, it's the confidence, what you wear and how you present yourself. And then, not every interview will go well.
No.
But the nerves will capture everyone sometimes. But as soon as you feel confident and you look confident, you should be able to get through it.
Yeah, and I was doing that in kind support for her, and I went with her to the first interview that she had, and she was just thriving. And it was so nice to see.
Yeah, it's a big heart-warming moment knowing that you've been able to refer and support and go. And we go to interviews with them too. We can, do a lot of things that will benefit them just to get to the job interview, let alone even get their job accepted. So some people just need to go to 5, 10, 20 interviews to have that confidence to go, yeah, this job's for me. I'm going to try that little bit harder, or be a bit more confident, or learn from my mistakes and what I said and what I shouldn't have said. Or, I get nervous at interviews. It's just human nature.
Yeah. So you actually help them from the beginning, the get-go, to get an interview.
Yep, we will reverse market for them. Yep.
The CV, the resume.
If they've got a resume already, we'll edit it with them one-on-one to see how we can improve it. We ask for their permission. We make sure we can have one for retail, or one for, generic job searching, or it can be a tailored resume for something that they really want to go for. We can do, practice interview skills, like you said already, buy them work clothes, but we do start. There's some clients that come to us that already know that, so then we move on to what sites to job search, what places to look for. And we've also got our own employer account managers who have emails sent to us daily about relationships that they've built in the community of employers where we can refer them to, and they're only ever going to be suitable employment that's going to last for a long period of time.
Yes. So another one very important point is employment through NDIS, versus employment through you guys in the community, is the salary. Which supported employment, the rate per hour, it's no more than $5. So that helps them. That makes them actually really not happy, and more than not happy, frustrating for them to know that they doing, they put in everything there to do a good job and get paid, 3 times less than a person that doesn't have a disability. That it's one thing is very frustrating. Secondly, affects their mental health, because you feel
less.
Yeah. So another question that people say or asked is they all are on a pension from Centrelink. So there's a number of hours that they must work or can't work more than.
Yeah, there are some people on the disability support pension that if they do work over a certain amount of hours that they could drop per, I think it's 50 cents on the dollar. Don't quote me on that. That could be something that I picked up when I was researching it a few years ago. But I know that some of them are quite aware. Centrelink's job is to explain, how many hours they can work, and it's up to their responsibility as well as to see how much they can work. Because I've had a previous client that's had, the old the disability pension, and his pay gets taken out when, to pay for his home. His home's West Home, and then obviously other bills come out as well. So the money he makes that we found him the job for, obviously will top up the payment that he gets. But yeah, he couldn't work more than a certain amount. So he can't earn a certain amount, so he wouldn't be able to lose his Homes West house. So we're very vigilant with that and make sure that we're not going to overcommit him, or he can explain to the employer with his consent that he can't work a certain amount of hours. But yes, some clients do come with us that have got a support worker with them, and they go to the job. For instance, there was a client that had a wage hourly rate given to them, and it was supported, and it was, can't remember the amount, but it wasn't great. So it was something that we had to revisit and see what we can do to try and improve his chances to look at open employment versus the lower hourly rate.
What would you say, or can you tell us the benefit of going through APM? Because, I know them, but it's information. Yeah.
So we have not just yourselves that are supporting us and sending us referrals through, but within our own APM we have the NDIS team who also send referrals over. So we've seen a mixed bunch of clients that will have, for example, a client, to be eligible for our program, we have to have what's called a health assessment. And if they're an NDIS participant who has funding and not on a payment from Centrelink, they still need to have what's called a medical verification form signed by their GP. That needs to be uploaded to Centrelink, and then they can actually have the assessor at Centrelink will assess their 8-hour benchmark hours, 15 or 23-hour benchmark. So by being with us, not just the support and finding the employment, but it all comes around with, chats with the employer with their consent, making a plan, working out days that they can work because they've either got other appointments on medically with NDIS or with, waiting for their support worker to make sure they've got a day. We can make sure that, we're in a phone call reach as well. Even though we work 8:30 to 5, we can take our mobile phone. We do take our mobile phones home so they can contact us prior to a shift or after a shift. We do have it on the weekends. We don't get too many calls, SOSs, but they know that we're here to kind of support them. And most of my employment consultants go over and above. But it's not just the help with the financial side of things. It's just us being able to find a suitable employment. We might be able to put someone into employment that sounded good for them in the month of January, goes on for a few months, and things have changed in their barriers. So then, we can mitigate that, chats with the employer to see if in that company could there be a different type of role. So we have once they've signed that consent, we can have a lot of power and talk to the employer about, working with you or working with them, try and change it up so it's not exacerbating their barriers and making it different, or not making them feel like they have to quit because the job's too much for them or whatnot.
So there's always that communication.
Always open communication. Emails, voicemails we get SMSs. Sometimes we get a phone call 3 times, and we're face-to-face servicing. So sometimes it'll be handed the phone to myself. If I'm free, and I'll talk to the client if they're having some issues or problems. And it's just a matter of, before the end of the day, if they've called us, we'll call them back.
All right. So in the comments, we can put a link to the form, the medical.
It's on Centrelink, so I can give you the link to Centrelink where it is, and it's actually a Centrelink form. It's got a barcode, and it's obviously updated on their website if they have any updated versions of it.
Yeah.
But we just gain it from the Centrelink website, which I can of course show you that. But that's a form that every employment consultant knows to give a client who is eligible. So basically, walk into any APM site and explain that you're with NDIS as a participant, and we can do what's called a special placement. So we as APM staff, we can only put a client on when they're receiving a benefit, but we have a special class client. So the NDIS participant, there's a special place in our system that we lodge to say, this participant's not on a benefit but is looking for work. We also check eligibility, so age and making sure that they've the access letter is what we need to prove that they're an NDIS participant, and then we check the suitability as well. So we check that the client that you're referring to us or has walked off the street into our offices to look for work. We make sure that there's the fortnight appointments, or sometimes we can even organise weekly appointments, that they commit to job searching as well. There is a minimum request from people who are on the job seeker payment or the youth allowance. So the people we call compulsory clients do have 12 job searches to prove in their job plan, but we also assist with them as well, so they can come up with, say if they're getting stuck with 8 or 10, if there's a couple there, we'll happily sit down and try and find another 2 for you so you meet that requirement. But with our NDIS participants, it is a voluntary participation. So we find that when you've come to us, there's been a lead up to it where your support worker or your friend or family have gone, come on, you can do this. You just need to take that next step and walk into the office and meet the team. And generally every business manager can sit down, or any EC employment consultant can sit down and go, this is the process. It can take sometimes a little bit longer with our assessments at the moment from Centrelink. We are trying to mitigate a way around them, but again, Australia is a big country, and Centrelink's, a big company, obviously a big government body, so they're trying their best. And I've seen some of the assessments get in and out quite quickly, and some I've seen take a while. But it's just about managing it and making sure that, those people are on your, like we have reports obviously, and we can see who we've clicked to register and who we haven't, and where the paperwork's at. So once we've got the client walk in and give that, I want to work, we'll, be there to support them the whole way through. So once the verification form is completed, then you'll need to hand that into Centrelink or upload it through your app. And then we can request for an ESAT, so a health assessment with an assessor at Centrelink, and they'll go through the barriers on that form and then give you the achievable benchmark hours. So it'll be either 15 or 23 if you're not on the disability support pension. But we can help with, setting up appointments with Centrelink as well, going with them to support them for the first couple of appointments to get the disability support pension achieved.
That's great.
So when I first started, wouldn't have a clue what I needed to do to help these people, but it was just the people along the way that was managing me, and was my colleagues that supported me and gone, we only learnt from the past, so we can only make it better. We can find services to refer them to for assistance with writing up the claim. That generally, we've got our Centrelink team that's in Warwick that's really helped us. They've just opened a time slot, the client's gone down, we've walked them down. Not every single time we can go down because we've obviously got face-to-face appointments, but we always will make sure there's a time in the future that we can go with them, whether that's me phoning the manager or heading down there. One of us will get up. Doesn't matter whose client it is, we work together.
Yeah. And so I know it's difficult to say because it's different for every person, but how long would you say is the average that they have to wait to get a job?
It really does depend on how quick they want to find something, as well as our account managers being able to help as well. So we generally get our account managers in once a week or once a fortnight just to review our clients who are ready to go. Not everyone is ready to go, but what we can do, as long as they've got a quality resume, they've got interview clothes to wear, they can get to and from the interview, and if they can't, we can obviously assist with either public transport, Smart Rider, or Uber or train or taxi. I've seen people get jobs within the first, week or two, but I've also seen people wait 3 to 6 months, just from attending our job club sessions as well. And we've put people into employment straight away. Sometimes we refer them too quickly because we've seen sometimes them be really eager and then not really established the routine at home, or something will fall down. And so we sometimes don't always put them in straight away. It's not because we don't think anything other than they're not ready, but we've seen them be a bit relaxed in some aspects, and we think, okay, well, we know our employers, so sometimes they're not up to our standard that we would send over, because at the end of the day it is our reputation. But we go through every referral with all the clients, always managing them with the employers that come through, and make sure. So it is a case by case as to how people can get into work quickly. But I hope that if there was any feedback or anything that they've given you about us, or vice versa, we're an open book, we're open communication. If there's anything there that we can work on.
I've seen how you guys work in this holistic way.
Very much.
That from getting ready to walk into the office to meet someone till they get a job, and after that, so it's a lot.
Them meeting you and knowing you at the start, then you're transferring them to us, so we're brand new to them. To build that rapport can take a few weeks as well, for them to consistently come to the appointments, because we book fortnightly for half an hour. Their first appointment, once the assessment's been done, actually is 1 hour. Once we do the consent forms and we make sure we've got everything explained to them in the program. If they're consistently calling us or coming in fortnightly, they're going to be the top pick of our brains when we're calling our EAMs, our account managers, to refer them to places. And their job searches we're going to review, once they're being completed. If they tell us it's in the system, we'll go over and go, oh, that's a great job, let's see what we can do. But we do definitely make sure that, we're not rushing them at all, because there's no point putting someone into a job where we're going to let down the employer, let down themselves, and then we're going to
it's going to be harder to
picking up
start
the pieces.
Exactly.
Yeah, and not just you meeting them, us meeting them, but then meeting the employer, and there's a whole new staff and team that they've got to build rapport with as well. So hopefully it's not a quick jump into employment, because then it can scare them.
Yes.
But I know money is the root of all evil. So you've got to have a job, you've got to make money, you've got to pay bills, you've got to go from there. Live. So
So one of the other things that is APM is usually within an NDIS office.
No, we don't have everyone in an NDIS. I think Warwick has got the only one in the North Metro we share the site with. But NDIS is our one of our departments in APM. So we're just lucky that we've got the team next to us. Very big team.
Because we met with, as I said to you, with Nigel in Katanning last week, and he was within the same office as well. So sharing the office, sharing the space, and it's important because it's being rural, and it's just hard to get providers and hard to get employment. In Katanning, Narrabeen, it's just the information is not out. Not only with disability employment, but with anything, because that's what we find. And also, it's not only for people with disabilities. It's, as I know, it's for people that have health conditions and injuries. So it's not only that we're gonna invite people within the DAS. It's just for the family members, for the friends. You know, if they have a health condition, they require special accommodation to work, like set up. You can help too.
Correct. Yep, we've got a lot of referral services that we've got coming on board already down in the south and the east. We've got a company called Back to Work. We've just met with them last week. They haven't been quite prevalent in North Metro. I think just they've got to start hiring people to assist. So they basically will go with our clients that we refer them to help with, you know, the barriers, not just the medical barriers, but the mental health things that can put things into place that will give them, you know, a routine or something that we're not trained in everything. We're here to give them employment and find them jobs. So we have to focus on that, and then the Back to Work team will help them with, you know, making sure that they've got every other aspect down packed. We can always touch lightly on budgeting and stuff like that, but they've got plans in place and programs in place. We, as business managers and employment consultants, do a lot. We have a 360 model, so we are looking after clients into employment. We're looking at keeping the clients into employment. We're looking at touching base with employers on a weekly basis, and then we look at, you know, making sure that they're staying in the role up until 52-week milestone. So as we take that on, there's, as you can imagine, lots of reports, lots of admin, lots of paperwork, and, you know, achieving every single person into employment. We have a lot of people that do get there, and then we have a lot of people that, you know, finish up with a job because it's just so many reasons. But to have the clients just trust us is, you know, we'll always find them something, is for them to you know, and to be open with us that what's happening in their life they can be honest about. Yeah. And we're humans at the end of the day. Things are going to always happen.
So another important part of APM is the training and upskilling in preparation to get a new, you know, job or be back in the workforce.
Yes.
So how is that organised?
Yep. So we have a provider that's linked with us called Alfie. They are a Certificate 3, so we can pay for the clients if they're eligible to go through a 6-month Certificate 3. There's more than 10 opportunities there. For instance, there's community support, retail, hospitality, cleaning, Certificate 3s and stuff like that. That's not only just Certificate 3s. We can, you know, once we've assisted them and progress them through that 6 months, we will then find a job within that certificate for them as well. So they get that qualification, that certificate. We can support them with, you know, funding the police checks. We can help with working with children. We can help with driver's license lessons. If they're doing an upskill that's not linked with us, then obviously we can have a look at the funding levels as well and see what we can do to help with paying for some of it. It's just down to the funding levels and the individuals that we have.
Yeah, because we employed a person with a health condition, and she got everything through APM, which was fantastic because she couldn't work. She was on a pension. You know, it gets expensive to start with.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah.
So how can they contact you and your team or any other office in Western Australia?
Yep, we have our website. It's probably the best place. They've got like a location that you can type in your suburb, and they can show you straight away the phone number, the landline, to get a hold of us. Off the top of my head, I don't know the numbers. They are my business card. But also, if you see an APM sign, walk straight in and just ask, you know, you want to be connected to someone. But yeah, other than that, the website, like I said, I give you the phone numbers.
I will get your business card. Yeah. We're gonna show you in this podcast, and then we're gonna put the details in the comments, so everyone who wants to contact you guys can easily do it.
Yeah, amazing. There's no business manager in my team that I know that will we help until the cows come home. Like I've heard and seen, I've been in other sites, the person walks in, what is the issue, what can we do, what do you need help with? And if it's, sometimes we help, it's crazy because when we've got enough time, it'll be like, you're not eligible for our services, but I'll walk you down to Centrelink and see if they can help you. Like, it's just common courtesy, but at the same time, if we've got the time, we'll go down just to help that community member, because it is, at the end of the day, if we all show a bit of kindness, it'd be a nicer world.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, it's a place where you can have a private conversation or an open space where you can, you know, share your needs and what you can do for them. So, and it's always good to get there to the office and there's always someone say hello.
100%. Yeah, my new starter today, she's just started, and in her first 2 hours, you know, was greeting people at the door. No worries. Pressing. We have a you know, one entrance to come in, and so our NDIS team are at the back end and we're at the front. So when they do have a client meeting for the NDIS team, we press our doorbell, so then someone from the NDIS team comes down, and she just picked up that was what needed to be done. So I've hired obviously the right person with customer service and a smile, and nothing's too hard or too easy. It's just, I hadn't even had a chance to show her what we need to do, and she's already, you know, walking around and been with us for not even before lunch, and you can tell that she's got that APM way.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. Can't wait to meet her.
Yeah. Yes, I'll introduce you.
Yeah. All right. So, you know, it's pretty easy. We're gonna give everyone the information that they need. Thank you so much for coming and give the information. You know, it's very useful. It's people can always reach out to you, reach out to us, and
team effort.
It's close. So.
Yeah. Well, Fran introduced me to you guys, you know, so I said to her, who's around local that we can go and, you know, straight away engage with, and she said straight away yourself. So since then, you know, nothing's been too hard or too easy. It's just been easy going, but we welcome any referral, and if we can help you in any way, let us know as well.
Yes, we will. Thank you so much,
You're
Telia.
welcome.
All right. We'll give all the information, the details, and if you need any, if you have any questions, just please send a comment. We can put you in contact with them, and then they will help you to navigate. And everyone is welcomed. Everyone within NDIS, with out of NDIS. So just reach out. We'll be happy to help you. Okay. Bye.
See you later.